All right, let's get going.
Okay.
So come to standing, and you'll want to have your belt or yoga strap or scarf handy that we've used the last couple of weeks,
Yeah,
because I'm gonna have you
I've got it.
do something with that in a second. Well, first just feel your stance and standing. Feel the how the weight goes through yourself to your feet. What's the set of your shoulders like? Can you find how you're stacked over your hips? And just take a little walk around. Just sensing how your legs and arms swing or don't swing. And then come around to standing and grab your strap. And then put a chair or something stable that won't roll away from you. And you want the back of, if you're using a chair, you want the back of the chair towards you. And you're gonna stabilize with your left arm. And then take the strap and put it under your right foot, out at the balls of the right foot. So not quite in where you would be in a stirrup, but like
Yeah.
not at the toes either, just right at the balls. And so now hold it so that the strap is taut and that your right arm is straight and long.
Yes.
And so what I'm going to have you do is going to have you lean yourself over onto the left leg and then come back. And so you'll want, if you could move the support so that your left hand is on it. So I'm going to have you use that left hand. You're going to lean on the left hand.
Oh, on the.
So you want to
on
have put it off to your left. Can you move it straight out to your left?
What do you mean?
The chair.
Oh, the chair.
So
Okay.
it's out left to your hip. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so now with that being said, so you'll keep the right arm straight. So you choke up on the strap that's under your foot. The strap is taut and your right arm is taut as well. And then you'll just lean straight over to the left. You'll support, some weight will move into the left hand on the chair or support to your left. And then just go left and right. You'll come back to standing fully on both feet. And you won't pull with the right side. You won't pull the right foot off the ground, but you'll lean your whole body, keep your whole body as straight as possible and just go over a little bit and come back. So you're taking your weight fully off the right leg every time you lean to the left. Yeah, there you go. And so just do that enough times that you can feel that you do a lot of work in your left hip, yeah. So try not to side bend in the ribs for now. Just tilt your body like you're the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There you go. It's a strange, very strange feeling when you do it. There you go. Because we just don't do this. It's very non-intuitive because if you were to in real life, if you lift the right leg, you're going to use your ribs. You're going to hike your hip using your ribs. And then let that go and walk around a little bit. And when you walk, I just want you to feel the effect that that's had. Just notice how the right leg moves itself on and off the ground compared to the left. Do you feel an echo of what we just did? And then come back to where you were standing again. And take the strap and put it in the same place in the balls of the right foot. And you'll have your right arm straight and the strap is taut. And this, I'm going to have you lean the same way you did, but as soon as your right foot is a little bit clear of the floor, I'd like you to slide your right leg a little bit forward. Actually, I skipped a step that I want to do at the beginning. So actually drop the strap or hang it on your chair for a second. Some context for this lesson is that, you know, what we've been studying is that we've got the heads of the femurs are these two balls, right? And so you can move all around at 360 degrees. And so what we're going to work with today is this idea that you can hinge over both heads of the femur in your hip sockets in a way that there's a rounding and arching that you can utilize to move your pelvis forward and backwards. So what I'd like you to do is put one hand on your belly and the other hand on your sacrum behind you. And then you're going to lean your pelvis a little bit forward, but you're going to keep yourself upright. So what you'll do is you'll take the pelvis a little forward in the hip joint so that you'll have to create a little bit of arch in the low back. And then you move your pelvis backwards of the legs by rounding a little bit in the low back. So it's basically like a rounding arching instruction, yeah? Where the pelvis is going to round backwards, the pelvis is going to round forward. But I want you to specifically, we've done this plenty of times, but I want you to specifically feel the effect that has over your legs. You'll keep your legs relatively still and feel that as you round back, you go a little back of the legs. As you go forward, you go a little forward of the legs. Now, there is a little bit of a sway, but it's very small. And you might feel that as you arch a little bit and your belly button protrudes forward and your hands on the sacrum where you're going to arch. It might feel like, oh, I'm pushing my legs back. I'm pushing my booty, my tail backwards, yeah? But just sense that it's possible to not move the legs very much, that you can do a lot of motion with your spine. And then you round, do the opposite, you round, and it might feel like you're pushing the legs forward, but actually your pubic bone is now kind of coming up, and your tail will be coming up in front of you if you had one. Now, grab the strap again. And you loop it under the right foot at the balls of the right foot. And you'll have your right arm straight. And now you're going to lean over to the left and make the right foot come away from the ground. But then you're going to move the straight leg a little bit forward. And at the same time, you'll round slightly like you were just doing in standing on both legs. So you stay over to the left. So you keep yourself positioned, kind of hovering over the left with the right foot off the ground. And then from this position, you slowly take the straight leg a little forward. And it's not a lot. You're not doing a big kick. Just like an inch forward. And then you're going to come through neutral, and you're going to now take it an inch backwards. So the right leg is basically doing a very slow and small swing through the air. And allow yourself, as you take the leg forward, to do a little bit of a round in the pelvis. So the low back will round slightly. And then you'll take the leg a little backwards, and the low back will arch slightly. And I can't really see your leg, but just give me a little feedback. Does that movement make sense?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
I feel a lot of pressure on my left knee.
Yes. So then stop. And so, yeah, those of you who are listening to recording, in this lesson, you'll want to just do a couple of movements. If you feel, because actually that this very thing, we'll do it on the other side. So that's why I'm cautioning you. This is a lot of work in the left hip, all the big muscles around the left side of your pelvis, right?
Yep.
And so that includes the knee. Because this is just a lot of unusual movement, we're exploring. Because with these walking lessons, we're doing movements in the lesson that are an exaggeration of what you would do in real life. So you got to just very much take care of yourself because we are doing a lot of exaggerated motion and there's a lot of weight that comes down through the hip. So let that go and take a walk around again. And just feel the effect. Especially notice how the right leg swings, how the right arm swings. And then you'll want to move the chair to be now on the other side. So you're going to have it over on the right side. Yep. And you're going to hold it with the right hand. You'll put the strap below the left foot at the balls of the left foot. And we'll do these two movements that we did earlier. So first you're just going to lean to the right, tilt to the right, and come back. Yeah, good. It looks like you've got the left arm straight and the left strap is taut, I assume. You're not pulling the foot off the ground, but you've got a straight kind of long strap on the left side that encourages it to go with the rest of your body over to the right. And so feel how this creates probably a lot of force down through the right hip, down through the right leg. And then pause a moment. And then we're going to do that other movement. You only need to do it a few times, especially if there's a lot of work you're feeling in the right hip. So you'll do enough of a lean where the left foot comes a little off the ground, and then you're going to take the straight leg forward, and you're going to round a little bit so the low back goes a little backwards. And then you're going to take the back leg backwards, and you'll arch a little bit in the low back. Good. And what you'll feel is, and it may be quite loud, that you're doing all of this movement of yourself, your body, to take your leg forward and back. It's all happening over the right hip joint. That's what the study has been in this whole series, is that when you're walking, you're moving yourself over the leg that's standing, but the hip joint and leg aren't just some static flagpole. We round and arch over it, we side bend over it, we turn over it. And then let that go and just take another walk around. And feel how the arms move, how the legs move. Feel the echo of the left leg being in the air doing these movements. And let that go, and now come and move your chair out of the way and come and lie on your back. And actually, Fred, before you lay down, there's a couple parts of this lesson where you might need a bit of a pad, either on your hip or your elbow. So just have it within reach. Great. That's a little bit tall.
Well, that's my Zafu, and I can arrange it so it's
Pretty flat. It can get flat. Okay. So come and lie on your lay on the ground. And then you'll roll, actually just roll straight onto your right side. And then draw your knees up, and it'll be directly on your right side. And so you'll have your hands in front of you on the floor. So you're completely on the right side. So your legs are on the right side, but your back is on the floor. So I want you to roll to your right side. So all the way onto your right side. So bring both arms across and forward. There you go. So draw the knees up a little further. And then take the left leg and take it straight down below you as if we're standing. Great. And now take the left hand and put it on your hip. Yep, and the left elbow is pointing to the ceiling, and this is like we've been doing in this series. And now do a simple movement of just rolling yourself so that the left leg rolls so that it's open. You open it up a little bit toward the ceiling. And that external rotation, yep, and then roll it internally. So right now you're doing external. Now keep going so that you roll the leg forward as well. So you roll your whole body forward to take the leg forward, and then you roll your body backwards to take the leg backward. So when you get right there, Fred, you come and stop. So now, in addition to, now do the movement of going forward with the hip and the arm and the leg. So pause there. I want you now to roll the left side of yourself forward to the direction you're facing in front of you. So roll it to the front. Yeah, like you're going to roll onto that right arm. Roll yourself forward. There you go. And can you turn the left leg so it goes forward? So the toes start to go towards the ground in front of you. There you go. Now just do that movement. Start from the neutral place and you go forward. Yeah, notice your head goes forward. Maybe your eyes look to the right. Yeah, you're rolling a little bit to the right. Good. Now pause in the middle and roll a little bit back. And then put them together. You're going to roll all the way forward as far as you want to easily, and then back. Okay, great. Now, pause a moment. And bring the leg up. Now, bring the knee up so both knees are hiked up, so the knees are in front of your hips. And now, this time I'd like you to put the hand on the ground. So if the hand is flat in front of you, the left hand. So you put the left hand out in front of you, and you'll have the elbow sticking up toward the ceiling. So you're going to put the hand partway, somewhere around your elbow, on the ground though, either above or below that right arm. Yep. And then you want the elbow up so that you're making a little square window that you could look down through if you wanted to. That's good. And you can make a fist. It doesn't have to be a flat hand. You could make a fist out of your fingers. And now I'd like you to take your low back a little bit backwards so you feel yourself rounding your pelvis and your spine, kind of like we were doing in standing. So you're just going to round your back backwards, and imagine that you wanted to look down through that window. Yeah, so it looks like you're doing the arching, which we're going to do in a second. Can you also round? That's the arching. Now do the rounding. Good. And when you do the rounding again, Fred, let your eyes drop down like you're going to glance through the window. Good. And then when you arch, do the opposite. You'll take the eyes a little bit upwards. And I don't want you to do a big movement in the neck. I want you to feel it coming from the length of your spine. So all of your ribs should move. That's good. And now, take your left leg and make it long below you. And you'll keep the right one hiked upwards. And now in this position, round like you were just doing, like you're going to glance a little bit down through the gap, but you're going to take your low back backwards. But as you do that, next time you do the rounding, allow the long leg to slide on the floor a little bit forward. So, in other words, you're going to use the rounding to swing the left leg a little bit forward on the floor. So not so much rolling right now. There is some rolling, which we'll get to later. So you'll slide the long left leg on the floor so that the foot slides on the floor forward, like you're going to kick somebody in front of you. So I can't see the whole length of your leg. It looks like what you're doing is rolling the leg in and out. Can you slide the leg forward on the floor so that the foot slides forward on the floor? And then alternately, you'll slide the foot backwards on the floor. So Fred, pause for a moment. Just pause right there. Is your leg is straight at the knee, right?
Yes.
So keeping that left leg long and straight, just slide the left heel backwards without bending at the knee. Good. And so to do that, there's some work in the butt to do that, right? Because you're extending. Now let your eyeballs look up a little bit as you take the heel backwards. And see if you can allow your belly button to go forward and have a slight arch in the length of the back to make it easier to take that left heel a little backwards. Great. And then you'll swing through and do the opposite. You'll take the left foot, pause a moment, and from here, take the left foot forward and round a little bit to help yourself take the left foot forward. And then put them together. So you'll arch yourself to take the left heel backwards, and you'll round yourself to take the left foot forwards. Great. Let that go and rest on your back. And feel the difference between the two sides here. Can you tell that the left side was the one moving in space, the right side was the side supporting? As you compare the two shoulders, the two sides of the ribs, the two sides of your pelvis, what's the difference like between the two sides? It might seem like you're lying on a lengthwise on a curb. I mean, not to that extreme, of course. But does one side feel lifted off the floor more than the other? Notice your breathing. How do the ribs touch the floor on each side of your spine? Which ribs do touch the floor? And then when you're ready, roll to your left side. And you'll draw both knees up high. And then you'll put the right hand over where the left hand is. So both shoulders are squared forward. Great. And now that I've got you here, take your right hand and put it on your hips and with your right elbow pointing to the ceiling. And you're just using this hand to really listen to what the hip does and feel how your pelvis moves. So your right leg is straight down as if we're standing. You keep your left knee hiked up upwards in a chair shape in front of you. And now initially, like we do on the other side, you're just going to open and close the leg. You're gonna round it forward so the leg rolls forward or in towards the other leg. So you'll roll your whole self forward, the whole right side of yourself forward to move the leg forward. But feel what happens in the hip socket. Feel that you can actually turn your right leg a little bit independently of your pelvis. It actually does roll independently in the hip socket. So feel that if you were to lead with the toes, if the instruction is keep your right knee straight, but take the right toes towards the ground in front of you, feel there's some articulation that can happen in the hip joint. In fact, do that without rolling the rest of yourself. See how far you can go just in the hip socket of taking the leg so that the toes touch the ground in front of you. And then you can roll it backwards too. Keep your torso from rolling, and can you open your toes out towards the ceiling? Feel there's a certain amount of freedom of doing that in the hip socket. And now allow the torso to roll. So the initiation point is the toes rolling in and out. But you're going to allow your whole body to help. You're going to allow your ribs to turn against the floor. Yeah, you can feel it on the left side, that your ribs are rolling on the floor. And it may be that your head is turning and your eyes are turning. Great, let that go. And now we're going to do the other direction of moving that we did earlier. So bring both knees up high in front of you on top of each other. And now take the right hand and make a fist around somewhere near the elbow in front of you on the floor. Yep, just like that. You got a little window there. And now do this pattern of rounding and arching. You're not worrying at all about what you do with your legs. You're just feeling that the pelvis can round a little bit backwards, which means your low back will round a little backwards behind you. You might feel that that asks your neck to round a little, so you might seem like your nose and your eyes might want to go towards the window of the right arm. And then you'll pause a moment in the neutral spot, starting place. And now do the opposite. Can you let your belly button move forward and let your sternum go forward, and can you lengthen and arch along the back of your spine? It's as if you were going to take your tail feathers and take them back and up behind you. We've done a lot of lessons like this in the past where this idea of it's like your tail tail feathers and the back of your head were going to go toward each other. But it's to a very small degree. The head doesn't do so much work. Can you feel that this can come from the middle of you? That the pelvis and head go forward, the pelvis and head go backwards, but it can come from the very middle. That your belly button goes backwards and forward. Maybe your sternum goes backwards and forwards. Now pause here and now take the right leg and take it long below you as if we're standing, in the position as if you were standing. And now take the right hand and can you put it actually behind you on your sacrum? Yeah, just anywhere that you can reach comfortably. It can be higher or lower than I'm saying. And now take your right foot and keeping your leg straight, just move it a little bit forward. Then the slowest and smallest kick with a straight leg that you could do. And now listen with your right hand on the sacrum. Can you round your pelvis to help you take the right leg forward in this little slow kick? And then you'll unround. And I'm having you put your hand on your sacrum so you can feel whether you do round or don't round. You should feel your hand. You should be able to use your hand to listen that you can curve back into the hand so that the hand goes backwards and down a little as you kick the long right leg forward. And then you can do the opposite movement. You can, when you come to the place you started with the leg in a standing position, and now you can use your hand to listen that you can kick the straight leg a little backwards. Now the hand will actually arch a little bit. Well, I should say, depends on where your hand is, but your fingers, wherever they are, may go backwards as your right leg goes backwards. You might feel that parts of your pelvis come backwards into the fingers, but you may feel that the heel of the hand, you feel an echo of the arch that the low back has to do, to arch to take the leg backwards. And then put the two movements together. So you'll feel with your hand that the sacrum and low back round and arch as you slowly kick the straight right leg a little forward and a little backwards. Are these instructions making sense to you, Fred? Are the movements making sense? Can I clarify?
Yeah, I can feel that.
Good. Yeah, you just let me know if there's any clarification you want. Can you feel if you get a little taller and shorter through your chest area, where your head is? Good, and just let that all go and rest. And now just feel your contact with the floor again. Feel how flat you are, how not flat you are. The length of the legs. How's your pelvis settled now? How are the shoulders set on the floor? Feel the ribs on each side of your spine. Just sense the length of the spine on the floor. And what's the perceived height of each set of ribs on each side of your spine? Like on the first scan we did a little while ago, when you had just done these movements on the other side, if you felt a little bit like there's a ridge or like you're lying on a curb, has that changed? And then when you're ready, please roll onto your right side again. And you'll draw the knees up so that they're in front of your hips, roughly. And now I'm going to change the position for you. What I'm going to have you do is, you're going to have the left leg straight below you, but before you do that, come up. I'm going to have you come up and stand on the right elbow. And when I was doing this week, this is where I actually had to put a pad between my left hip and the ground, but you'll see whether you need to do that. You have carpeting, so you might be okay. So you're going to come up onto the right elbow as if you're lying, you're looking out at the ocean and you're at the beach and you want to stand up and on the right elbow to make your head higher so you can see the horizon. Yeah, so we did this the other week. So you're gonna just stand your elbow up on your side so you can get your shoulders off the ground. Let's see. Did your screen freeze, Fred, or are you just very still? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you come up like you're about to come up to sitting. So yeah, come up off the ground with now right there. That's what I want you to do, is bring your elbow now back a little bit so that that's it. You're standing up on the right elbow, and only stay there as long as it's comfortable. So now you'll have the left leg long below you, straight, and can you draw the right knee up a little bit? Yeah, so the left leg is gonna straighten and be as if for standing. You'll straighten the left leg towards me. Yeah, straight knee. There you go. And so we're gonna do the same thing of kicking the straight leg forward and back, but you're going to have your ribs much more free because you're standing up on the right elbow. So that straight leg is going to go a little bit forward and a little bit backwards. So your knee shouldn't bend. But you'll accomplish this by rounding and arching in your spine. There you go. That's it. Yep. So there's not much movement in the right knee, but the right foot, you're going to slide it forward on the ground and you're going to slide the heel backwards on the ground. You can feel it as you go backwards, that the pelvis goes backwards behind you. And you can actually take that left hand and put it on your sacrum, if it's comfortable to do that. Or anywhere. It could be you could stand it on your hip or wherever it's comfortable. And just feel that as you round to take the leg a little forward, and then you back, you feel, that hand on your sacrum can kind of be like a seesaw listening. Very good. Now notice if there's any rolling that happens. When does it make sense to roll a little bit? Yeah, you got it. So let's exaggerate that. So next, when you're bringing the leg forward, allow your head to turn to the right. Let your body roll to the right. And then as you take the leg backwards, you open up to the ceiling. There you go. Which is what you organically started to do. So as the straight leg, left leg goes forward, you'll allow your whole torso to round. So you'll feel that your weight starts to roll inward in front of that standing right arm. And then as you go backwards, yeah, you roll outward like that. Good. And then come down to the floor, come on onto your side again, because I know your right arm must be getting tired. Just compare the two sides. And then when you're ready, you're going to come to the same position on the left side. And so only do what's totally comfortable in these positions. So you're going to stand up on the left elbow like we did on the other side. Yeah, that's it. If this is uncomfortable, just do it twice and you can just lay back down. It doesn't matter how much you do it. So if you want, you can put that hand on your hip or your sacrum, whichever you like the most. And you'll have the right leg straight. You'll bend the left knee up in front of you a little bit, yeah. And so as you take the leg straight, you're going to do it by way of the pelvis rounding to go backwards. And then as you take the leg backwards, you arch there in the pelvis. Yeah, so you definitely feel that the right foot slides forward as you round. Yeah, and you've already added this on this side. You're already adding the rolling, yeah. But don't only roll. Can you find that as you take the foot backwards and you roll out, make sure there's some arch, and you can use your hand, Fred. That right hand you should feel the sacrum arch right there. And then when you round forward, you want to feel like your sacrum. You use your hand to kind of guide your sacrum to go down and away. There you go, art. And then the rounding. Yeah, it's like as you take the leg forward, it's almost like you're rounding, like you're going to almost round back onto the back. Yeah. Now, this is not what we really do in walking, is it?
No.
So what we would do when the leg goes forward is we would bend the knee. So you could draw the knee up as you round at that point, yeah. And then you could straighten the leg and take it backwards as you roll toward the floor and arch. Go ahead and lie all the way onto your left side, Fred. So come down so my elbow's aching just, watching you stand on it for a while because of when I was doing the lesson. So, but we'll be in the same position though. You'll bring the left knee up on the floor, but you'll have the right one long. So you'll have the right leg long for standing, but you'll have the left leg knee in front of the left hip slightly. It doesn't have to be perfect. There you go. And now put your right hand either on the right hip or on the sacrum, whichever you like. And so the right hand will go on the right hip or the sacrum. Yep. And then we'll do this a little more, but we'll do a little more of a sweeping sensation. So again, like I said, if you were going to take a step, your right leg would swing forward, yeah, but the knee would bend, yeah. And so go ahead and do that. Yeah, so that's backwards now. But as you take the right leg forward, allow the knee to bend. Like you're going to bring the right knee up towards your chest. And then slide it down long. But then as it lengthens, take it backwards by arching your body. That's it. And then bring it forward and bend, then draw the knee up towards your face. And then lengthen it backwards. Good. And now add the rounding and rolling that we were doing. So as the knee comes up towards your face, you'll round backwards. Now you're arching. So next time you bring it up, can you take your round backwards so you roll into that right hand, and your face should be able to begin to look down at that knee coming forward. Let your eyes and chin drop down to see the knee. Next time it comes forward. There you go. You want, yeah. As with most people, the challenge is allowing our chest, the ribs around our chest to begin to round and arch as well. That's usually the limiting factor. So yeah, and you'll want to sweep. You want the right leg to completely straighten. And there's that little bit of arch. Yep. And then as you draw the leg forward, you let there be full rounding. Great. I want you to let that go and rest on your back.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
And so go ahead and roll to your right side. And you'll draw the right knee up so it's out in front of you, but you'll have the left leg straight, as if we're standing. And then you'll put the left hand either on the left hip or back on the sacrum, whichever you liked the most. And then you'll use that hand to listen, to make sure that the sacrum moves to help take the leg backwards and then to take the leg forwards. Good. So yeah, I see as it goes back, you're creating an arching. And then we wouldn't walk by keeping the left leg straight, would we? We would look funny and it'd be very inefficient. So you'll want to, next time you take the leg forward, can you draw the left knee up towards your chest? That's it. So you'll fold the hip, yep. And as you do that, make sure you round back into that left hand. That's arching, so can you do rounding? There. So straighten the leg again, Fred. So you want to round your pelvis backward, your low back and your whole spine backwards so that the pelvis, so that actually is the engine that drives the knee to come forward and up. So pause a moment. Actually, take the left knee and put a little bit, have it bend a little bit and then rest there. Okay, pause there, right there. And now look down with your eyeballs at your knee. Great. And now feel how you round a little bit in your back of your neck, your shoulder blades, your spine. So I'd like you to keep rounding as if you're going to roll towards being in a ball, and then just allow the left knee to slide up towards your nose. There you go. But can you let your head drop down so you feel you round backwards in your spine? Right. That's it. So I'm having you exaggerate it, Fred, just so you really feel it. Good. Now, do the opposite to straighten the leg and take it back, the heel back behind you. So now to do that, you would take your head a little backwards. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, when the left leg comes forward, you'll slide the left knee to come up towards your face. Great. All right, let that go and rest on your back. Notice your breathing. Compare the two sides of you now. Has anything changed? And then please roll to one side. And then you'll eventually come up to sitting and then eventually to standing. Take your time, and then once you're standing, just feel how you're settled into the floor now in standing. Feel the set of your shoulders. Did you get taller? Did you get shorter? Yeah, just feel where are your hips now. They might be in a similar place, but it might be that you feel the rest of yourself in relation to the hips in a different way. If your hips feel different, that's the thing that is different. Yeah, and as you maybe look around your room, do you feel there's a different way you move over your legs? Is it possible that your spine has just been clued in just a little bit, that there's some movement that can happen in all three planes of motion in the spine to allow the hips to move? And then just take a little walk and see what that's like. And just notice how the arms swing. Does your chest turn as you walk? Does it say where it is? Where does your sternum go? What way does your sternum point as you walk? And as you walk, pause a moment. And so, well, let's notice the right side as you walk. So you'll feel the right hip and the right leg and the right arm. And so go ahead and walk a little more. And just focus on what the right side does. So just feel that as you'll feel like the right leg goes forward. As the right feel goes forward, can you feel the right arm wants to go backward? And now feel the movement that's happening on the right side, but there's a moment where you can feel that it's the left leg that's standing for a moment. Like there's a moment when the right foot is not on the ground. And that's that moment where you're moving in all these planes of motion. Your whole self is moving momentarily over that left hip. And so where we get pain in the right, and let's just say the left hip, like the left hip and the left knee, is when we don't get fully over that left hip and we don't have the full 360-degree possibility of motion. And it's typically because we've got an amnesia about what the chest can do and what the belly can do, what basically the whole spine can do. So these lessons are designed to wake that up by, of course, being in a weird position and doing an exaggerated movement. All right.